the way like we see the HIPAA rule is, there are three main categories within the HIPAA rule, right? So there is a privacy component, there is a security component, there is a breach component. So where does the privacy component comes into play? Anytime you are dealing with patients, access to a request to access the logs or from a third-party agencies, or anytime you directly deal with the patient that doesn't involve electronic form of communication, then the privacy rule comes into play. And then the security is whenever the data that you're creating, storing, transferring becomes in the electronic format, digital format, then the security rule comes into play. And then the breach component is primarily when you discover that there is a reasonable reason, reasonable cause to believe that there was a data breach, then you need to be notifying the individual patients, notifying the agencies on time. So that's when the breach component comes into play. And then the enforcement and audit is pretty much, if you violate any of these particular rule requirements, then the enforcement and audit could come into play. Right. So these are some of the changes that were done to HIPAA rule. This is called famously called Obama Care or HITECH Act. So it was introduced in 2009, made into law in 2013. So HITECH Act, obviously some of you on the call must be part of this meaningful use program. Now it's now the meaningful use program evolving into more MIPS, the quality payment program and things. So HITECH Act created this incentive plan for the covered entities to get money from Medicaid and Medicaid agencies for implementing electronic health records. So that was the main thing. And then also they changed, HITECH Act changed the liabilities and responsibilities of business associates. Pre-HITECH Act, business associates were not directly liable under HIPAA. Post-HITECH Act, business associates, that is anybody who is doing business with you that involves protected health information, they are directly coming under HIPAA rules. So what essentially means is they have to comply with HIPAA directly. And also, like as part of your business associate contract that you have with them, they need to, in addition to the HIPAA rule that they need to comply, they also need to comply with according to the contract what you have with them. Right? And then also HITECH Act redefined what breach is. So they have provided clear process in terms of determining how to find out if there is a data breach. If yes, then how do you go about notifying them, notifying the patients, notifying the agency, and whatnot. And also they tighten the enforcement. I think like we talked about it already. And then the penalties for violation, again, that amount that got pumped up with the HITECH Act. And they created new code and transaction, which we are not probably going to be covering in this presentation today. But having said that, the Meaningful Use Incentive Program seems to be one of the most popular programs of the HITECH Act, and there are close to about 20-30 billion incentive money given out to the providers for adopting electronic health records.
For more information, click on the link below or visit databrackets.com.